You know what, y'all? Lily was a real one, okay? She was the epitome of take one for the team, okay? Moment of silence. Yes, Lily. Hey everyone, it's Shriner from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Handmaid's Tale Season 2, Episode 7, After. And so we see that this episode takes place after the bombing, that my girl Lily, rest in peace, R.I.P. Lily, you a real one. We see that there's a funeral. This episode opens up with a funeral. We see the women, the handmaids, are dressed in black with the red scarves over their face. And we see that there are these beautiful red coffins that are laid out. So I'm like, are these the handmaids' coffins? Or are these like the commanders that were killed? Like, I don't know what's going on. And so we see that we are told that it is the handmaids who are in the coffins as they were having a conversation in the van after they left the funeral, that there were 31 handmaids that were killed and 26 commanders that were killed in the bombing. And so we see that Lydia, who is so disrespectful, she's highly disrespectful. This woman had the audacity to sit up here and say, you know, I wanted you guys to continue to live in a world without violence or pain. I said, Lydia, hold up one moment. Didn't you just cut somebody's tongue out? Burn a hand? Didn't you also like chain a pregnant woman up to a chain until she can finish her pregnancy out? Did you not just shock all of these girls in the rain where you were torturing them? Did you not act like you was gonna hang everyone with a noose just at the beginning of the season? So I'm sitting here confused as to why you would have the audacity to fix your little itty bitty non-existent perch lips to say that you wanted them to live in a world with no pain and no violence. And on top of that, because y'all let them get raped once a month. I was just highly confused by that, okay? I was really concerned. I just didn't understand, like, who wrote this speech for Lydia? And does she really believe this in her heart of hearts, that she, like, really thinks that these women are just living the life procreating or being raped and procreating every single month? So we see after the funeral is over, we see that it cuts to, we see that Mr. Waterford, somehow his old creepy behind, survived the blast. He's in and out of consciousness. Serena's by his side. We see that Nick is there as well. And then we see Commander Cushings, who is basically in charge now because we learned that Commander Price was actually killed. And so we know that Nick ain't getting a transfer no more. So basically, Gilead is in a state of chaos. We see that as the handmaids are leaving the funeral, we see people being hanged from trees. We're told that Lily's entire family were hanged and murdered because they felt like they had something to do with her bombing the Rachel and Leah Center. And so we're kind of thrown into this like flashback of June and Moira and even Luke. So we see that at the beginning of the episode that Luke and Moira and everyone else in Canada, they are alerted about the bomb that went off in Gilead. And they know that there are casualties and they're trying to steadily get the names in so they can alert the family members for who were those who perished in the bombing. And so we see that Luke is kind of in denial. He's kind of just like, there's nothing wrong with June. I don't need to worry about this. I'm not even going to concern myself with this because she's a fighter. I know that she's okay. And Moira, on the other hand, is just like, so like, you don't want to know, like you don't want any information. And so we see that Moira is searching for someone throughout this episode. And so we later found out through the flashbacks that Moira was pregnant before, like years before, because we see that Hannah is a baby at this time. And so they're having a discussion at the bar where she's telling June and Luke, and she's basically letting them know like, hey, I'm going to have this kid. I'm going to be a surrogate for a couple in England. And basically they're going to pay me enough money to pay off all my debt. I can start a new life. All of that. And June's like, are you sure you're going to want to give the kid up after that? And she's just like, I got this. And so we see through the course of the episode, the relationship between Moira and June as June helps her through her pregnancy, being there for the prenatal classes, and even there when Moira ultimately gives the baby up for adoption to the family. And so we also see that the love interest that she had, who was separated from when Gilead happened, was actually her OBGYN. And so we see that after she has the baby, they have this conversation where she sees her on the street and she's like, hey, Doc, can you like help recommend them all back? And then like, you know, Moira just being Moira and got a mad game. And, you know, the doctor basically tells her at the end like, hey, I'm not your doctor anymore, so you can call me Odette. And so, yeah. And so we see at the end towards the end of the episode, we see that she actually has this book of, she's been going through these books in the library of unidentified bodies. And so we actually see that she was actually killed, Odette was killed, and she sees a picture of her and she breaks down. And so I want to know, like, do you guys feel like they're doing Moira's character justice? Like, I like that they did a backstory into, like, what her life was like kind of outside of June, but not really outside of June. We just knew that she had this other relationship, but they really didn't go in depth with it. I don't know if that's something that they are going to show like more throughout the season, but I don't know. I just feel like Moira is just like June's best friend who escaped, and she's just there to comfort Luke, and they really don't know what to do with her character. I don't know if it's just me. Let me know what you guys think about how they're treating her character. I just feel like, especially from the performance, the emotional performance that she gave us today's in the episode, I just felt like they can do more. They can give her more to do than just being June's best friend that escaped. I don't know. But that's a whole nother rant. But yes, so we see that basically, so everyone's in chaos. We see that Commander Rushing, going back to June, Commander Rushing goes to talk to June and says, hey, like, who helped you escape? Because I need to know who the traitors are in Gilead so we can have order again. And so she's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I was kidnapped. Like, what are you trying to do? And he was like, look, you can be honest with me. Was it Commander Waterford? Like, who was it? I need you to tell me. And so basically, he's like called outside because there's a commotion with one of the Marthas, and she is shot point blank, but she was really just trying to get her pass to show them that she was okay to be out in the streets. And so June is scared. I'm scared. So she tells Serena, like, girl, do you know this man is all up here asking me questions? He stopped by the other day. He trying to ask me, was Mr. Waterford the one who kidnapped me? Like, what is going on? He was like, you know, they killed Lily's entire household, and I don't know what you think. If you throw me under the bus, he not just coming for me, he gonna come for this entire house, and all of us are going to be dead, including your unborn child. And so she kind of plants a seed into Mrs. Waterford's head, and we see that when Nick is coming home, that she is waiting for him. Serena's waiting for him at his house, and basically she asked him to help her forge a warrant to have Commander Cushing basically arrested for treason, which he didn't commit. But it was like, really, I like that whole scene, like when they told him like, nah, you can't come in, and then, you know, Mrs. Waterford looking and June is looking like, you thought you was gonna come up in this household and take us down? No, sir, we're gonna get to you first, okay? And so we see this new type of relationship between Serena and June, and we also see towards the end of the episode, Serena has decided to take back Gilead. As we all know, she was pushed out by the sons of Jacob from her own freaking idea because the men wanted to run Gilead by themselves and not have women to do with anything with basically running or making decisions for the new government. And so we see that she kind of wants to take back control, and she wants to use this opportunity of her husband being in and out of consciousness to basically restore order and bring Gilead to the vision that she actually saw. And in order to do this, she knows that she needs a woman to help her, and she decides to create an alliance with June. And she asked June, like, hey, you were an editor, basically acknowledge her past life. And she was like, I need your help with these papers. Are you willing to help me? Jen was like, yeah, girl, where my pen at? I mean, she wasn't like, yeah, girl, where my pen? But yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens with their friendship, just because it's not even friendship. I'm just going to say alliance because they both can't stand each other still. But at the end of the day, June needs to align herself with one of the Waterfords so she can continue to keep tabs on Hannah. And maybe Serena be like, hey, girl, let me help you escape after you had this baby, and I'm going to give you Hannah. You can go on about your day. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But before the episode ends, we were taken to the colonies where we see Emily and Janine, and we see that all of a sudden these black cars show up and they start choosing random people out of the lineup, and then they choose Janine and Emily, and we see that, I don't even know to say unfortunately. Do you say unfortunately? Like, would you rather be in the colonies where you know you're just gonna die? You're going to die like a slow and painful death, but kind of quick death? Or would you want to go back to being a handmaid? But I guess we're going to have to see, because Janine and Emily, they were basically thrust back into being a handmaid because, as we said at the beginning of the episode, over 31 handmaids were killed. They got to make sure that they still are able to reproduce. So they took some of the women from the colonies and put them back as handmaids. And I wonder, like, how does that work? Can they really have babies? Because y'all been getting all this radiation and being poisoned inside of your body. How did, like, there's no doctor to be like, hey guys, it probably really doesn't even make sense. They probably can't even get pregnant anymore. But that's just me going off on another tangent. But we see that June walks up to Emily and she tells her hi, and she says, my name is June. I was never able to tell you that. And so then we see this kind of, she goes up to another person. She's like, hey, I'm June. And we see that all of the handmaids start telling each other what their names were. And then you see that there's this kind of bonding moment, because before, the handmaids really didn't know who to trust. Some of them, they were snitching on the other handmaids and things like that. And we finally see them band together. But in the midst of everyone telling their name, I was like, you don't see that little snitching ass, like, what's her name? Eden, Nick's wife? Nick's old young wife who was about to snitch on her husband, get her husband messed up. Y'all sitting up here saying y'all names around her and you know she a snitch. I was like, this probably not going to end well, but I'm going to sip my tea and I'm going to wait and see. But I still don't like her. She a snitch, y'all. Watch your backs. But I like to see everybody bonding. And I thought that was a really cool way to end the episode, because it's kind of just like this funeral brought them all together. And it kind of helped them be like, hey, like, we have to carry each other's memory, because obviously they're not going to do it because they're in denial about all of the atrocities they have committed by basically taking our rights away from us. But I think that's everything. I'm trying to think. I think I cover everything. If I miss something, don't charge it to my heart, okay? It's my mind. It's going bad. It's bad, y'all. It's bad. But those are my thoughts on The Handmaid's Tale Season 2, Episode 7 After. As always, my name is Serena from Pay or Wait. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you soon.